Welcome back to Crypto Music.
Crypto music.
Music. Yeah. Right. Today's topic will be about exchanges. Exchange the flow of energy, cryptocurrencies. But seriously, think of your cryptocurrency experience as you playing the instrument, you playing the music. Now, the exchange is something like this bow here, okay? Because it enables you to go through the process of transacting the data of the music, okay, of those investments, market decisions, placements of trust, and vital energy, which is the monetary forces in our lives. And you could think sometimes the difference of exchanges is more cosmetic. Okay, like, ooh, nice. The difference, the aesthetic appearance between exchanges like Binance, KuCoin, and Huobi, and starting with Coinbase, of course. So there's the aesthetic appeal between them we will discuss. But more importantly is the functionality, which would be like the horsehair itself, as well as the carbon fiber in this bow, right? However, they work together for your user experience, okay, during this time when centralized exchanges are still the predominant form of using and transacting and buying and flying around with cryptocurrency. Okay, we will talk about wallets in the next episode. And that is really how you're going to safely store your cryptocurrencies off the exchanges once you've purchased them. Because no, you do not want to just sort of fly around by the seat of your pants, trusting the exchanges will never be hacked. Because not only could that be losing sleep, but that could be very detrimental for the health of your family's monetary ecosystem. Now, like always, this is not financial advice. It's really not financial advice. Nope. But here's some ideas. Alright. Without further ado, here we go. Exchange number one today will be Coinbase. Coinbase. Right? Coinbase is obviously for us Americans, it's one of the few options we could have. This is an exchange that takes your fiat, your papyrus, flappy bills, hand-stained notes, and turning it into cold, hard crypto. Right? So Coinbase, especially for the US users, is really useful for that because you line up your bank accounts or credit cards, you get verified, credit debit, that can take about a day, and semi-near instantly even, and then the bank a week, or depending how you hit the business cycle. And then when those are verified, you hear how much your daily and weekly withdrawal limits are, and that sort of thing. In setting up these exchange addresses, you also get some private keys. You've got to write them down, somewhat secure. Prepare to put them in the fireproof lock and safe box if you ever needed to recover your account. Now there's some sort of fees that Coinbase will charge, sort of a small flat rate, and then a bit of a percentage, something like that, depending on the current market value. So obviously it's not perfect, but in terms of making crypto accessible to us fiat money holders, like the USD crow, who's my US dizzle and the hizzle? Okay. I mean, I think it's a laugh. They say, oh, crypto for money laundering. Why do I find that funny? Well, actually, the US dollar is the best thing for money laundering. Besides having to smuggle across borders, of course. That's always been a scare part from what I hear. This is one of the main arguments for why crypto is a negative thing. The whole point is it's a public ledger system. There's no public ledger system for the US dollar, necessarily, okay? You can track down bank wires and things like that. Cash, you cannot track. Crypto, the vast majority of coins are public ledger. And you can understand why governments have, are not too threatened. Because then, it's really clear whose tax money is still when. Because it's on the record system, alright? I'm getting into smoking a lot in these episodes. I might need to cut back. Okay, so Coinbase is very useful. Now, very important that you use GDAX. What is GDAX? Only something that's very essential to Coinbase, but you may not know about, they don't necessarily advertise, and then you would just end up paying extra fees if you did not know about it. So, I'm letting you know, because this was one of my own stumbling blocks getting into tip now. GDAX.com. It's, you use your Coinbase account. What's nifty about it is free transfers into GDAX. And from there, for free, you can transfer them to the other exchanges to then buy more forms of cryptocurrency. Like we mentioned in other episodes, if you're preparing for ICOs, like you're going to get the next token with NEO and gas, you will need to trade it out. And GDAX does that for free. Also, you can wire money into GDAX for like, say, $20 fee or so. And then you can peg market orders, limit orders we call them, right? Which then means you sidestep the fees that Coinbase will give you if you're just using the app or the interface directly. But in GDAX, with the wired funds, you peg the orders. Not only then with the crypto, you can set it out for free. You can put, with the big question of what do I do once I've made my profits? You know, even though I'm in it for the tech, once I made my profits, what do I do? Well, what you want to do is like you take your crypto and you put it back into Coinbase. I mean, just back into GDAX, okay? And then you can change it back into US dollar there with also market orders. And then put it back in your bank account via the Coinbase account that's already hooked into GDAX. And you're like sorted and you're ready to go shopping again. So anyways, that's a further episode about withdrawing. But just want to point out GDAX is really what fills out Coinbase. Okay? So Coinbase and GDAX, let's hear it, Jason. Okay. Another thing to consider is like the tension of the bow. Is how are you going to use the exchanges, right? Okay, the tension is very important for then the usability of the bow. Okay, and what's your participation going to be like? And you have some level of agency there. You got to be really careful. You want to have all your malware, spyware detectors on and shielding you the whole time, because the greatest vulnerability here is if you have a compromised system. You know, first of all, you could go to the wrong website and download. You misspell KuCoin. You should always bookmark these exchanges. Misspell it. It looks like it. They've just copied the appearance. They download something on your computer silently. And then what they can do with the malware, when you're copying and pasting that 18-digit code to send a cryptocurrency from one exchange or account wallet to another, when you're copying the address codes, the malware could put in a different code, and then you end up, sending the money to them. So you always want to check the first 4 and last 4 digits of the code to make sure as you're clicking confirm on any transaction. But yes, before you start any of these exchange activities, scan your computer and do extra protection. There's some great free anti-malware spyware out there. Just do a little bit of research. Very good. I think I use Sophos, S-H-O-P-H-O-S, for my MacBook Pro to keep me safe, sound, effective, and secure. You could also consider a virtual proxy network, VPN. It's another layer of shielding that hides your IP address and that gives you more room to work with. Okay. Right, got to be safe now, right now. So once you've got your crypto from Coinbase into GDAX, you're ready to transfer it to another exchange to pick up some other investments, if that is your plan. Say if you wanted to go to Binance. Binance is the next one on the list. Dim, dim, dim. Little F major innuendo. Alright, Binance, centralized exchange, very safe, never been compromised, and has some of the most users worldwide. They have a nice little referral program. I'll throw a couple of Coinbase and Binance referrals in the description below. Do never feel obligated to use the referrals. Coinbase will each get $10 free Bitcoin, and then as a Binance, you would help me out. I'd get a little tiny fee of your transaction fee each time. Anyways, that doesn't really matter. Use the link only if you want to. Well, not financial advice. And so you transfer from GDAX to Binance. So you gotta go in, make your Binance account, right? Register yourself up, and then what's gonna happen is you'll go to Funds on the top right, on the in the navigation bar there, you see balances. Then you have the option to click deposit, withdraw. If you click deposit next to a coin, say Ethereum, search the Ethereum on the list, click watch out, Ethereum Classics, different thing. And then you click deposit, it'll come up with another page, and you'll have a specific 18-digit code, right? A QR code, or you copy that code, and you put it into your GDAX withdraw window. You click withdraw on the currency in GDAX, put that, send to an ETH address, you put that in, and then that's how you can deposit into your Binance account. Make sure before you've done that, of course, you've set up two-factor authentication, identification with Binance. Of course, you would have set it up with Coinbase. Pretty sure it's mandatory. With Binance, set it up. Basically, you download the Google Authenticator app on your phone, right? And then it's going to every 60 seconds, approximately 45 seconds, I believe. It's going to give you a new code that's specific for you and your account. And this protects you. So if your email was hacked, your password was found out, don't recommend using your email password for your account. Create a new password, remember it, write it down somewhere, right? You're going to have to get used to writing down a few private keys, and this is going to be one of them, okay? You get to two-factor 2FA setup via Google Authenticator. You can also do the text version, but if you went out of country and it didn't work, the text thing could become annoying. So 2FA is the easiest. You got Wi-Fi, you got 2FA. SMS, you might need down to put down an SOS, all right? Click confirm. You put some Ethereum in Binance. Now, take up to 30 confirmations to arrive. In the meantime, you can watch one of these episodes and just kick back and chill, you know. Or more likely, start looking at the markets, go to the market tab in Binance, and start plotting, you know, zoom out, simple views, little views in advance, they're both good, and start to look at the larger trend line. Once your Ethereum has showed up in your account, automatically it will show up in the exchange window, say how much you have available, how much you can buy. Then, you know, you can even click, oh, I want 50% of this Ethereum I just sent in. I'm just going to get NEO of that, okay? And then you go to another thing, and now then you've used half your Ethereum, and you can say another 50% or whatever, a quarter of the remaining amount I want to put in whatever this other one is, you know, Zilliqa or Icon. ICX is the abbreviation for Icon. Okay, these are a few of the popular ones that you might want to check out that are on Binance. So you're going to get some NEO. Okay, zoom out and see, where am I at? Am I on sort of a dip right now? Am I sort of buying a dip where the exchange between NEO and Ethereum, there's that, you know, it's at the advantage to buy NEO, or is it just peaked up and it's more like someone would want to sell the NEO rather than buy it? Of course, hopefully you have the long-term hold strategy in mind. Most short-term traders lose money, as they say, so not recommended to short-term trade. So if you know you're really in for the whole long-term thing, you don't need to worry too much about, oh, I need to set a limit order because I think it's going to go back down. If you want to work with the markets, play with them, play with them, play with them, playing with the markets. Just don't be sad if you lose it all. You can buy it at market value or set your limit. That's up to you. Now, Binance, because a coin must apply, okay, to get in there, it does mean that there are a number of great options that are not yet listed on Binance, but are still great buys, and it's actually, the value has been protected by not being on Binance because they haven't got that huge sort of pump and dump spike you expect when it gets first listed on exchange. It's a very anticipated coin, okay? And so then you want to make an account on KuCoin, KuCoin.com. I do believe, see link below. How about a theme for KuCoin? KuCoin, the Lambo giveaways is a little cheap, ironically, but, you know, gotta love KuCoin, keeping it real, easy to sign up, KuCoin. All right, thank you, KuCoin. KuCoin. So KuCoin, you sign up, you do the 2FA, right? You don't need to submit your driver's license and everything like you did for Coinbase, unless you really want to go all the way and have just the max withdrawal limits you can. But for most people, unless you're putting hundreds of thousands in, you don't need to withdraw and deposit that much a day, so that's not really going to matter, and you can stay a little more anonymous at this point, and that's okay. So on KuCoin, that's where you can get your TNC, your connected network credit. What's cool about KuCoin is you can buy a bunch of things directly with Neo. Whereas Binance, it's Ethereum, Bitcoin, and BNB tokens, which if you have some BNB, it's its own sort of cryptocurrency. It's basically for the exchange. It reduces your small transaction fee on the exchange if you have some BNB coins. With KuCoin, there's KuCoin shares. They operate differently. Basically, by holding them, it's like a securities. You get some dividends. You get a percentage of the total transaction fees charged on the exchange, and as KuCoin share KCS member. Now, as it's pretty low right now, that could be a good buy-in, but you need to buy a certain amount, and so you know, do some research before you decide. I'm going all in on KCS or something, because again, it is linked to the value of the exchange. So if the exchange was ever critically compromised, you can be sure that stock's going to plummet deep down. Okay. But it also can, you know, spike up with great things in the exchanges. But they're not going to multiply as much as, so far as we've seen, as really the coins, because they're just exchange utility and share tokens. Okay. With KuCoin, yes, what's cool is you can use Neo and get a bunch of things. I mentioned trending network credit. Check out like the key. Not a great ICO from what I heard, but a promising, you know, and verified project for digital identification. That's a big part of what blockchain offers the world in terms of utility. So QLink, I mentioned another episode, which is where you can use your mobile and car computer interfaces to help mine the network. Very cool. And that's a sort of Southeast Asian and Chinese version of that idea. We see others in the West, like Electronium, doing that in their own way. QLink's a big one for out there. Check it out. Yeah. Dragon chains on KuCoin as well. You have medical chain on there as well, another one to check out. And obviously high performance blockchain. That's more of a speculative buy, but there's some promising things behind. Do your own research. HPB. DNA, that's an interesting, another medical one. The Genome Project, another interesting utility of the blockchain. So KuCoin is, I would say, if you're only going to do three, you do Coinbase, you got Binance, you got KuCoin. With those three, you got a lot of them settled. Then sometimes these off-the-road map exchanges, when new exciting projects are coming out, they'll just come out on those. So you can, if you know about them, you can go and get in on them, but they don't hit the mass public until they hit the big exchanges. So there's an advantage of being able to use the not so massive exchange, especially decentralized, as it's ultimately safer, although you need to just be a little more understanding of what you're doing there. Of course, I must mention Huobi. You will hear many YouTubers and things saying Huobi all day, Huobi all day, Huobi all day. All right, if you're actually speaking Chinese, it would be Huobi, not Huobi. That is a mispronunciation, but hey, not that long ago they called baiting pecking. Yes, anyways, Huobi, if you want for getting your NOS, your nebulous tokens, as well as your ELA, your Elastos, you can go make an account on Huobi. Similar, it's got its own interface, but once you get Binance and KuCoin, all right, something like Huobi, it ain't no problem. You can do it, all right. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it, all right? Just get this into wallets after. That's it. Again, future episode. How about a little theme for Huobi? Little suspenseful because we do not know the future of Huobi. If you use it, just be vigilant. Exchanges like these, we do not know the central ones, what's going to happen in the future, and the etc. The express vulnerability. They've been holding up well so far, but governments could suddenly, you know, demand that they give them, you know, hand over the goods, hand over the documents, whatever, and or they found that someone on the exchange was compromising something, and blah blah blah. So use them with care and caution. But get in, get your tokens, and get out, is my advice. Alrighty. Please do subscribe and hit the bell to know about more episodes. Please share, comment, and like. Okay? Pumping out these videos and would love for your support. Okay? Even if you want to donate a little meal, you can. You definitely don't have to. But see my description for more juicy details and tell me what you want to hear about, okay? Okay? Yeah. I'm really normal most of the time, just having fun.